All right, to factor this one, it's going to be the factors of this divided by the factors of this. So that's going to be 3 and 1 plus or minus divided by the factors of 12, which is going to be 12, 4, 6, 3, 2, and 1. So the options could be 3/12, 3/6, 3/4, and it can be the plus or minus of any of these. 3/3, 3/2, 3/1, plus or minus, plus or minus, plus or minus. And then 1/12, 1/6, 1/4, 1/3, 1/2, and 1. Now, tomorrow we're going to actually learn some ways to make it so we can actually make better picks. But for right now, we're just going to have to deal with all these choices that we could make. Now, hopefully you realize that you can reduce some of these. So this is 1/4. But if you notice, 1/4 is here and here. So it's here and here, which means I don't need to have this guy right here. 3/6 is 1/2, but that's there as well again. 3/4 I need to keep. 3/3 is 1, which is there on the bottom. 3/2 I need to keep. 3 I need to keep. So those, it gets rid of some of the options. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm actually going to pick perfectly every time and just choose the right ones, just so this video doesn't take forever. So I'm going to pick 1/2 to begin with. And then use synthetic division. 12, -20, 1, 3. 12 comes down. Half of 12 is 6. -20 plus 6 is going to be -14. Half of that is -7. -6. Half of -6 is -3. That's 0. And notice it works out. So this becomes x minus 1/2. And then 12x squared minus 14x minus 6. Now, if you notice, these all have a common denominator of 2. So I'm going to factor out a 2, and it's going to be weird. I'm going to factor out a 2, and then I'm going to distribute the 2 back into here. So I'm going to factor out the 2 first to show you what's going on. So if I factor out a 2, I end up getting 6x squared minus 7x minus 3. And then I'm going to distribute this 2 back into here, which then gives me 2x minus 1, which got rid of the fraction. 6x squared minus 7x minus 3. So I'm going to move this up now. Now, I am not going to do the rest by using the rational root theorem. But if I did, it's actually going to be the factors of 3 over the factors of 6. And if you notice, that got rid of a lot of options. So if you're going to continue to use the rational root theorem, I would do it on this and not at the beginning. But since it's quadratic, we can factor it. So I got 2x minus 1. 6 times 3 is -18. Two things that multiply to -18 that give me -7 is going to be -9 and 2. Split the middle term. Minus 9x plus 2x minus 3. And remember, you got to drop this guy down every time. What comes out of 3x squared and 9x is 6x squared and 9x is 3x. 2x minus 3. Nothing comes out of the next one, so I got to pull out a 1. So this factors out to be 2x minus 1. 2x minus 3 factors out, and what's left inside is 3x plus 1. So there is my factored form of p of x. And my zeros are going to be whatever makes those 0. So what makes this first one 0 is 1/2, and we already knew that one. That's the one we found. And then the next one is going to be 3/2, and then the next one is going to be -1/3. So there are my zeros.